Okay, I do not look that great right now, so we're just gonna start it off by showing you what I'm cooking for breakfast. I have my coffee already made over in the other area of my living room, but I'm making one of these chocolate croissants from Trader Joe's, and this is not how you make it. I'm gonna like fix it all up and put it in the oven. The oven is just now ready, so I'm gonna make this for breakfast. I'm gonna basically talk to you in just a little bit once I look a little bit better, because I literally just woke up like 20 minutes ago. So here's the intro to my video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I probably look really ratchet right now because I woke up a couple hours ago and I'm literally still in my pajamas. I'm planning on staying in my pajamas pretty much the entire weekend unless I happen to go get something to eat somewhere. But basically, this weekend is the Hello Spring / Autumn Readathon, and it's a 48-hour readathon. It's over the weekend. I don't have any plans this weekend, so it was a perfect weekend for me to participate in it. So I was going to vlog my experience and like vlog my whole weekend. So I did film a little clip of what I made for breakfast this morning. I was planning on waking up at like 7:30 this morning because I had a Hallmark movie that I wanted to watch at 9. So I wanted some time in the morning to like watch, eat breakfast and like watch a YouTube video that I was really excited for and different stuff like that. And I ended up skipping the Hallmark movie and slept in late, and which is like nice because actually this past weekend was my spring break from work. I have been reading so many books this month. It is insane. I think I'm gonna surpass my goal, which is like my most, I at least want to read 6 books since I've read 6 books in January. I don't want to go below 6 books, and it would be great to go higher up in 6 books, but because of all of the readathons that are going on this month with March, what's it called? Middle grade March, and then like the backlist readathon that's happening next week, and then this readathon, the Hello Spring Autumn readathon happening. I have so many books that I have read. I've already read 5 books. I just finished Hazel Bly and the Deep Blue Sea for the backlist readathon because I'm kind of splitting off reading throughout the month for that readathon. Plus I have a mixture of middle grade books, which it works with the middle grade stuff. I'm not really following the prompts for the middle grade readathon. I'm just reading middle grade books for March, if that makes sense. And then like I have already read 5 books, and I should by the end of the month probably read about 10 books, which is insane, which is like the most books I've read in a month in like years, and I'm super excited about it. I actually read 3 books in 1 week, which is crazy. But also they were like short middle grade books, and I had like a lot of free time. So basically instead of me watching TV, I was reading. So pretty much my TV watching time got pushed to the back, and then I was reading because I was really into the book series that I was reading. And then, let's see what else. Oh, I watched Turning Red. I don't think I talked about this in my last little rant, but I watched Turning Red the other night, and oh my gosh, that movie was so cute. It's probably one of my new favorite Disney movies. And what else have I done? I watched like some TV shows. I played Animal Crossing for the first time on my Switch in a very long time, and my island was a disaster and needed to be cleaned up, and I did a bunch of different things on there. And then because I watched some Hallmark movies last night, and while I was watching them I played Animal Crossing. Oh, you can probably see me a lot better now. But the 2 books that I'm going to be reading this weekend, I've talked about them before on my last reading video that I posted. But I'm doing the spring version because I am in the northern hemisphere For the fresh starts, I'm reading this book that I just got from Barnes & Noble a while back called Hot British Boyfriend. It kind of gives me Girl Online by Zoe Sugg vibes, where like how she met Noah in the US when her mom was a wedding planner, and like they like have a cute little love story. But this one, the girl gets rejected from a guy, and then her and her friends take off to England and have like a girls trip, and then she meets somebody there, and like their like cute love story starts. So I'm very excited to read that because I loved Girl Online, so I feel like this is going to be like a more like young adult instead of like middle school, high schooler. It's going to be more my age version of it, I guess. I don't know. And then for the pastel cover, I wanted something that was really little so that I knew I could finish it over the weekend. But obviously this still is like 130 pages, so it's still a big book, but it's like small enough to where I know I can finish it. But this is a book that I got from my aunt a long time ago, like years ago. She would give me little books like this for Christmas and Christmas and like my birthday and stuff. And this is just a little, it's actually a series. It's kind of like a Christian version of Junie B. Jones in a way, but she's like a little bit older than Junie B. Jones. Like I would say middle school, like 7th, 8th grade to like early high school age. And this one's all about horse riding. And I had one about, because I was really into horses a long time ago. Like I would go horseback riding all the time, and then I also was really into the medical field when I was younger. And so I actually have a medical field like book like this. I read it I think last year, but I have not read this one. I may have started it when I was younger, but I just never fully finished it. So I wanted to read that for this one, since it is a pastel color and it's small enough to where I can finish it, because I have a little bit of a bigger book for me to challenge myself this weekend, and also a little bit of a smaller book. I've actually broken them down into like intervals of like how I want to read them and like throughout the day, so it's not like I'm trying to finish a whole book in one day. I have them split up into how many pages I need to read like per book or whatever, just so that it makes it easier for me to finish them. But yes, so that is what's going on this weekend. I have a couple of Hallmark movies that I'm still going to watch, and then tomorrow night I have so many TV shows coming on. I watch One Tree Hill every Sunday morning, or like sometime in Sunday. It's usually around the morning time. I'll watch One Tree Hill episode, because I follow along with the One Tree Hill Drama Queens podcast, where they like talk about the episodes, and we're in the middle of season 2 right now. So that's what I do on Sundays. And then I also have American Idol that comes on at 7. And then I've got Riverdale coming back on, which is gonna be taking you along on my weekend. Hello, everyone, I am back. I just actually got back from Taco Bell, and I got a Crunchwrap Supreme and some of the like chips with the nacho cheese, which I haven't had those in a very long time. I also have not had Taco Bell in general in a very long time. But I got back, and I have 30 minutes until reading sprints start for the first day of the Hello Autumn Spring / Autumn Readathon. And as I talked about earlier about the books that I'm reading, I wanted to go over what I've already read so far and my thoughts on each book, because reading sprints are usually a couple of hours long depending on what we're doing. Like sometimes if it's like an actual readathon reading sprint, I've noticed that they're a lot longer than if she just does a random spontaneous reading sprint. Those are only about like an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours. But then the other ones are usually a little bit longer, and they go in 30-minute intervals, and with like 10 minutes in between to like chat about your book you're reading and how many pages you read and stuff. But yes, so that's what's happening right now. Is I'm gonna take a 30-minute break before I'm gonna watch some YouTube videos and eat Taco Bell. But this book is really good so far. I'm 40 pages into it. I have about 20 pages left to read for today, and then I'm gonna read that first in the first reading sprint, and then the rest of the reading sprints I'll finish what I need to read of this freaking, okay, this bookmark keeps falling out of the book. But what I have to read of this book before they're done, before I'm like where I need to be on this book. The Lily series book, this one is really good so far. There's only been a small amount of horses mentioned in this book so far, and I'm like 40 pages into the book. She goes to a party at a barn where her friend, for her birthday, she wanted to go horseback riding, so they do that, and then she thinks of, oh, I could do horseback riding and that could be like my new thing. And I think every book is like her trying to figure out what she's interested in and not interested in, and trying different things each book, and this one happens to be horseback riding. And so she like is trying to figure out what she can do about horses, but then on top of that, her family has decided to adopt a new child named Tessa, and it's a little girl. She's like 9 years old, so she's a couple years younger than Lily is. She's a lot to deal with, and so it's very interesting like hearing her, like that part of the book. I think I like that storyline better than the horse storyline so far. I do like the storyline of them adopting a little girl and that kind of thing, and so it's very interesting so far. I like, it's okay. It's a little bit better than I was expecting it to be, if that makes sense. I was kind of not really excited for this book, and I'm still not really excited for it, but it actually has a really good storyline than what I was expecting it to have just from the cover. And then this book, I'm gonna try to hold the bookmark in here, but this book so far is so freaking cute. Oh my gosh. I've only read the first 8 chapters of it, but she gets rejected by this guy, and it turns out that her friend actually liked him. And basically her friend was supposed to go abroad to she was doing like a study abroad thing in England, and she decides to stay back with the guy that they like had a situation with. And she's like, well, if she's not going, then I'm gonna go so I can get away from everybody, because this whole thing happens that makes her want to leave the US and go and do the study abroad thing that she wasn't actually supposed to be on at first. At first I thought it was her and her friends going off together, but then I found out that then reading it, it's actually her going to do a study abroad that she wasn't actually supposed to be on in the first place. But because her friend decided to not do the study abroad and stay back with the guy, she's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this opportunity and get away from everybody. So she does that, and then when they're out, her and a group of people that she meets there, they go out to a farmer's market on the first weekend that they're there, and she meets 2 guys that are best friends, and one of them she's like kind of starting to like, and so that's where I'm at right now. And it's really, really cute so far. It gives me very much like older version of Girl Online in a way. So far that's basically what it feels like, and or sounds like and stuff. And then also it's weird, I mentioned this in the last, like my clip that I have, but I don't know if any other readers are like this, but when you read books back to back to back, and then like some of the books have character names that are the same, I feel like that character, like, I don't know, I resonate with that character from my last book, and I'm like, oh, now they're this person. And it's like really weird to like, because I see that name so much from the old book, and then it's hard to picture them as a completely different person but with the same name, if that makes sense. It's really weird, but anyways, but also it's very funny because I feel like there's a lot of the same references to things in the books that I've been reading, even though they're all completely by different authors and everything, but the amount of like references to the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland that I've had in the past few books I've read is insane. It's so crazy. And also like with Anne of Green Gables, I just read Hazel Bly and the Deep Blue Sea, and her friend Lemon reminds me so much of Anne Shirley. And just like the way that she talks, and like the way that she talks from when I read about her in Book Wanderers, and like it just like they kind of like mimic each other. I don't know, but anyways, I'm hungry, I need to eat. I have 30 minutes and I wanted to watch a video, and so that's what I've been doing today, is just reading and watching YouTube videos. I've only had one to watch, and then pretty much just chilling on, and like just kind of taking today and tomorrow as my own spring break time, and doing whatever, like playing on my phone, playing on TikTok and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit when I've read a little bit more of my books. Okay, hello, good morning. This is day 2 of this vlog that I am filming. Today, I've actually already had breakfast. I watched the episode of One Tree Hill. It was the iconic time capsule episode, and tomorrow will be the, what's it called? It'll be the podcast episode of that episode, and so I'm very excited about that. But I got that done. I also was able to, I'm gonna film a little clip of it, but later today I have the second part of reading sprints happening for the Hello Spring, Hello Autumn Readathon, and this is how far in the first day I've finished half of each book, so I just have to complete the other half of them. But this is how much I got read. Yesterday I read, in this book I read 167 pages, and the other one I read 62 pages. And so I was able to finish everything that I wanted to get done in the day, and I'm planning on reading a little bit before I have to do, or a little bit before the reading sprints start, so that I'm planning on finishing this book during the reading sprints, which is the Hot British Boyfriend book. This book so far, I have some thoughts on it. And I feel like they're going to be kind of like, I'm going to be brutally honest, I feel like with the books that I have read this month, because I've read a lot of books so far, and I feel like usually when I explain the book, I'm not like fully, I feel like I say what I want to say, but then there's like, I feel like I've been more into these books, so I feel like I have a more in-depth review for them, more than I have in the past. Like I feel like the past couple of books that I read, like last month, a lot of them were books that I didn't really like care for, and I was just kind of like reading them and wasn't really into them as much. But these ones, I feel like this month I've been really into reading. But the thoughts I have for this book so far, being halfway through, is, and I don't know if people feel the same way as me about this, but when I'm reading a book and I understand what they're doing, like they're trying to get you to know more about the character and like how their like brains and personalities work. But when it happens non-stop throughout the book, it's kind of annoying to me. I don't know how to explain it, but basically like if they're like talking about, they go in detail to a specific thing, and then it feels like I'm just stuck in that one paragraph and cannot get out and move on to the next thing and like move along through the story. Like especially in the Inheritance games, when I read that book, it's like they write it out where like they're in a room, and then they're like, instead of saying I walked through the game room, there was a few arcade games and then a pool table, and that was it. Like she went like, instead of saying like there's a game room, you know, that kind of stuff, she like kept going deeper and deeper and deeper into detail for like 2 pages, and I was like, okay, this one room cannot take up 2 whole pages. I don't need to know like every single detail of the room. I don't know, I feel like some people like that and some people don't, but like she would go into like, the cue ball is over to the left in the corner about to be into this thing, and like the game is playing this, like, I don't know, she would go way too in depth with it, I feel like, and it just kind of, I lost context of what I was reading into like the details of that instead of like the whole story. I don't know, it just like pulled me into, I don't know how to explain it, but anyways. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel like this book is a little bit in some way. Like sometimes it feels like it's not, I'm like stuck in one little section of the book. But I will say, I feel like I'm also gonna give this book, and I'm halfway through it, so we'll have to see if my review changes. But I feel like it's gonna be a 3 or 4 stars for me, because I thought it was gonna be a 5-star. Anyways, I think I misread what the synopsis was for this, because it was not anything like I thought it was going to be. But I will say I actually really like the storyline. But also I feel like, and this is kind of like, I don't know, but I feel like the names that were chosen for some of the characters just don't fit the character. And I don't know if anybody ever has that like thought process with character names, but I don't know, like the names that they picked for like the British guys are not really like what I would think of as British guy names. I don't know, it's just like really weird. But anyways, so that is what my thoughts are on the book so far. It's actually pretty good, but yeah, I feel like I'm gonna end up giving this a 3 or 4 stars. But I don't know, my thoughts might change. I feel like I want to give it a 3-star, but it may get a 4, maybe a 5, depending on how the ending is. But that's kind of my thought process on this book so far. And then this book is really good so far, and I really like it. The thing is like I really thought it was going to be all about horses and nothing else, and it is that, but very, very minimal in the story. And the most of the story is her getting a new little sister that her parents adopted, and her struggles with trying to help the little girl like fit in with their family and learn what it's like to be in a family when she's not used to it, because she was adopted and went through like different foster homes and stuff. And so that's a really interesting topic to put in like a kid's book, I feel like. But I'm like actually really in like the whole storyline of that is like really interesting to me. So I am excited to see how this book ends, and I'm actually going to be finishing this book before the reading sprints, and then reading the last few chapters of this book in this reading sprints today. But yeah, so I actually also filmed another reading video that I cannot wait to post. It will actually come out after this video, and I'm very, very excited for this one. I think a lot of people are going to be very excited for this one. So I cannot wait to post that. And then also I'll be going out of town, so I'll be filming a travel vlog. The rest of the day pretty much is just reading and watching YouTube videos. I watched an It's Our Life video, and then a Rydell Lynch vlog that she posted. Oh, and then also tonight I have a few TV shows that are coming on that I'm very excited for. Like Riverdale comes back on, American Idol has a new episode on, and then there's this new thing called Step Into the Movies with Derek and Julianne Hough that's happening, so I'm very excited about those. But anyways, that is all I have for right now until I find something else to do. But I'm going to start reading my book for the day, because it is 11 o'clock and I have not read yet today, and I need to start reading. So anyways, talk to you in a little bit. Focus, focus. Focus. Bye. Hello everyone, it is now Monday afternoon, and so I need to close out this video. I don't think that I closed it out at all, but I wanted to end with my thoughts on these two books for the spring/autumn, Hello Spring, Hello Autumn readathon. And I am going to and so I wanted to give you my final thoughts and just say thank you for watching kind of thing. But the final thoughts on this book, I finished this book first before the Sunday reading sprints happened, and the ending was bittersweet. It was actually really cute. I gave this book, which is Horse Crazy Lily, a 3 stars, because it kind of ended on just like a leveled out ending where, you know, they can go into the next book because this is a series. And everything worked out how it was supposed to, but there was like a very scary ending where an accident happened with one of the horses and one of the characters in the book, and you thought that, and there was like a whole thing where they were in the hospital for a while, and you didn't really know if they were going to be like fine or not. And so it was a little bit scary for like this age of a book, but I feel like it actually, I'm glad that it was put into this age group because, or like, I don't know, it was just a little bit much, I feel like, and sometimes, but it was, I mean, people around that age sometimes go through like crazy accidents and stuff, so I think it's good that they put that type of storyline into a kid's book, but yeah, so I gave this one 3 stars just because of that, and just like, I don't know, that was kind of like my thought process and my rating on it. I wasn't really like super into it, but I also like enjoyed it in a way. It wasn't like it was a 2 or 1 star. I gave it like a middle kind of star of like, I liked it but also didn't like it kind of thing. And then this one, which was Hot British Boyfriend, I also gave it a 3 stars because I didn't really, the ending was kind of bland to me and just kind of faded out into, like, it didn't really give me full closure that I kind of wanted, and it ended in like a weird way. And then also, I mean, it gave you closure on who she likes and doesn't like, but then like, because there was like, the first guy that she got rejected by, she mentions him a couple more times and then she just like forgets about him, and then she finds the other guy in Britain, and she ends up meeting the guy in England, but then another guy that she becomes friends with, that she went on the, that she became friends with the first day that she came to the study abroad situation, she starts actually liking throughout the book, and so she's trying to balance which one that she would rather be with, and then and like the person that she picks, it kind of just like ends in like a weird way. I don't know, like it just kind of like didn't give me the full closure of them like coming back home, and like I wish that there was like an epilogue, or how you say it, where it was like where they like said like, you know, a couple months later. It just kind of like ended with them still being in England. So I don't know. And also just like the names of some of the people were not like the vibe of the book for me. Like I feel like the character names could have been different, and just some of the, I talked about this earlier about how the like details were too much sometimes, and I don't know. So I just gave it a 3 stars, and I don't know if I would ever read it again. I don't know, I just like, I feel like this is a one and done. Like I would probably never read it again. I feel like my 4 and 5 star reads, I definitely would reread, but also this book doesn't have like the next book to it. Most of the time I only ever reread a book if I know it's gonna have like a series to it, like a sequel to it, and then it's been a while since I've read it, so I wanna reread to like know what happens or whatever, or like to remember what happened. But anyways, that is my end of the weekend video, and I hope that you liked this video, and I hope that if any of you are watching that did happen to participate in the reading readathon, loved the readathon as much as I did. And there are actually going to be 3 other ones in this readathon because it's going through all the seasons of the year, so that will be really fun. And if you missed this one, you can always get into the next one. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!